Hi, I'm Max, and this is my post-mortem for my first Ludum Dare game, SpaceReturn. First, I want to show you my game and its features, and later get into what went well, what didn't, and how I managed my time. The first thing you should do when entering my game is turning off the music. Alright, in-game we start with this basic ship, which we are able to upgrade by adding things to it. As you can see, when we added the sensor, our energy consumption went above the available. We wouldn't be able to fly like this, so we have to add some energy production, and could even add a second engine. Now let's leave the first shop by clicking down here. We are passively gaining resources, which we could sell at the next shop because of the drill, as well as a bit of money. This is the first encounter. There are 5 types, and they all do slightly different things. You have to choose one of the options and look at the results. This is quite random, and it is possible to lose your core very quickly and therefore lose the game. But the blocks you can buy and sell will help you with the encounters. I tried to make each one do this in an individual way to encourage different playstyles. For example, the cannons lead to more encounters, while the sensors warn you of encounters that you can avoid if you have enough engines. Now I want to talk about what went really well, and in the background will be a 270 times sped up timelapse, so scroll down to the comments if you are sensitive to flashing images. Considering this is my first Ludum Dare, I am hugely pleased by the results. I like the building system of this game, and I enjoy the art, which is surprising to me since I'm a horrible artist. I also really like the building sound because it was simply a bunch of recordings of my electric drill played at random, and that worked surprisingly well. The first day of this event was incredibly enjoyable because I felt that I made a lot of progress, and I think one of the key factors was that I took a short break to walk my dog every time I finished some part. This helped refocus on big things, and I avoided getting bogged down by too many details. Additionally, I always wanted to make a game sort of like this, so the theme worked great. And while this was quite the ambitious idea, I think I still managed to keep the scope somewhat reasonable by focusing on the building aspect of it a lot. This is also the first game ever I published to a larger audience than one person. While I am now very happy to have done it, this is where the biggest problem of my Ludum Dare experience occurred. While I was finishing up the game, I started to become extremely anxious about releasing it. I feared that it was boring and generally horrible, but I did show it to a couple of friends before the deadline, and they seemed to not hate it, so I went for it and published it. On Monday, however, I regretted this decision a lot. That is, up until the first comments came in and were all super nice. So, Ludum Dare LD39 in a way helped me get over my irrational fear of publishing and not being good enough. And obviously there were still other things that didn't go super well, like me fiddling with the solar panels for way too long, or the music and sounds being pretty bad, or the naming of the game which I really hate, or how the tutorial section looks, or that I didn't take enough breaks on the second day because it was a lot more stressful, or that I didn't playtest enough so that the balance is kinda off. But overall, it was an awesome experience, and I am definitely wanting to participate in more Ludum Dares. but then I will double my estimated time for any given thing to get a better planned estimate time for how long anything will take. Speaking of, on screen you can see a diagram of my spent time this weekend, and while I wasn't able to finish the core game on the first day, like I wanted, I'm still happy with this. Mainly because I was able to scrap features early enough to let me finish the game in time. Also, I didn't skip meeting friends on Sunday, which was a questionable decision at the time, but I'm glad that I did go. Either way, Quill 18's "You will run out of time" was and will always be very much true for any Ludum Dare.
Miniature Buddha, covered in hair. Come again? You know I don't speak Spanish. In English, please. Huh? You pooped in the refrigerator.
The game has actually already reached 20 ratings, which I'm very grateful for, but I would still love for more ratings and comments. You can find a link to it under the video, and if you watched this after August 23rd, the results will also be available at that link. As for the future of this game, I'm not sure if I will have the ability to develop it further, since I will be limited to a laptop for 6 months. But I do have plenty of ideas still, as well as a bunch of great suggestions in the comments and inspiration from other Ludum Dare games like All Systems Online. Those include a room system like in RimWorld, the ability to actually fly and fight other ships, maybe crew, and obviously better sounds and music. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this post-mortem of my first ever Ludum Dare.